Puts up three-pointer. Bang! Bang!
All right. Let's get this show started.
What's up? What's up? UFC fight fans. We had the fight and the awesome UFC 300 coming at us yesterday. And we're just recapping, talking about this, all the reactions. What do you guys think? What did the professor see? What did AC? Anything special? Let's see. Let's start off with the obvious question. Is this the card of the year, Mr. Professor? Let us know what do you think?
Because there's some fights or some cards that they don't live up to the hype. I think it lived up to the hype. It was from the first fight all the way to the last one. It did its job. It was, you had a whole bunch of celebrities there, and all the fights were really entertaining.
Answer the question. Fight of the year? I mean, card of the year so far.
Yeah, I'd say yes, easily, hands down.
Yeah, that shouldn't be very difficult. I mean, even if you take like the prelims, that was kind of like, that could have made a very good UFC fight night, right?
Yeah, because I saw a statistic going into the fights that which it's kind of hard to believe, but 10% of all the champions in the UFC were in that card.
Yeah. And they had 10 previous champions and they had 3 belts on the line, including the BMF. Do you consider the BMF a real title?
No.
Wow. Okay, tell that to Nate Diaz.
He never won it, so.
Well, I mean, tell him that he didn't put it all on the line to win it, though, for a fake title. What about tell that to Max Holloway, who said right here in the middle of the ring that he was fighting for not a real title.
Now, Max is a real champ. You don't need that fake title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't even look good. I honestly don't like the look of the BMF belt. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks like a real belt or anything like that?
No, I think it's the whole. It looks kind of cheesy.
They should trim it with gold or something, I'm actually not a. I mean, the idea of the BMF is that 2 people go in and they beat the crap out of each other, and I don't think that's like strategically. I mean, it's fun for us to watch, but when I think about these people putting that damage on their body, it's like you don't want to get hit. That is, maybe it's because I have a different mentality and I'm not a UFC fighter, but I don't know. What do you think? I mean, isn't something like staying away?
Like Connor, he would say, "Oh, people are trying to get fight of the night." I'm not trying to get fight of the night. I'm trying to destroy you. I'm trying to pick you apart.
You don't want your face. Although Max's face wasn't too bad, he didn't get too many. His leg, brutal. But they said it was swollen about 2-3 sizes. I wish I could see it, but he took some leg kicks that were deep, brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, how does he beat Dustin, but he can't beat Gaethje?
Oh no, you mean Max? How he can't beat Dustin, but he beat Gaethje?
I thought that's exactly what I said, but if you're correcting me, then that's correct.
Yeah, I think the problem was with Max when he fought. The whole thing with Max is it's all volume, right?
Yeah.
And then when he fought Dustin, he was still fighting at 145.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really bulking up. He was just cutting less weight.
So you think he should stay at 155 or 150? What is it? 157? I don't know what it is exactly.
Well, from when I was listening to all like the interviews and everything, he was actually like last time, like I said, he just cut less weight. This time he was like, I'm actually
Of
gonna
course.
gain. I'm gonna gain weight, get some
Yeah.
muscle, and he's been like practicing for like it was like basically like 8 months to gain weight.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, you know what I mean? I thought that they live at like several weights above themselves, and you wouldn't think it would be hard to gain the weight. I guess more or less gain the muscle is what he's
Yeah,
talking
gain the
about, or the
muscle.
proper
Yeah, gain the
muscle.
muscle. Yeah, gain the
Yeah,
muscle, and then because I know for a while Max hasn't he stopped sparring during camps,
yeah,
but
yeah,
this time he was saying it's like, oh, because I'm at a my body's a little different than what it usually is. I was
yeah.
sparring this training camp, unlike the other ones.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. That's interesting. What do you think about what do you think about I keep wanting to say Colby, but it's Kobe. Cody. Cody Garbrandt. What do you did was there anything in there that you thought, because for me, the last couple of
Well,
fights that I saw
well, I guess
Cody, I
you
thought I
want to
was
run it
hoping
down
for
from
something
the
extra.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess you want to run
That's
it down from the first fight to all of them.
exactly. That's kind of what I was doing, but thanks for telling me. Now I know. So I appreciate you running the show. Do you want to run the show? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm just making sure, man.
Oh,
But
okay.
uh,
All right. Thank
but
you.
uh, Cody, he looked a lot better than what I thought was gonna happen. Because
Yeah.
what I thought was gonna happen, he was gonna get knocked out in the first or second round, and it was gonna
Ooh.
look ugly
Yeah.
because his chin's gone. And the first round, it was pretty competitive. He looked really good.
Yes.
You
Yes, he
know,
did.
he looked
Yeah.
he looked really good. I was like, oh freak.
That's kind of
Obviously, Fig, if he lands a big one, he's gonna knock him out. But I was like, man, Cody's he was looking a lot better than I was expecting. And in the second round, he takes him down with like 4 minutes left in the round, and he's just in trouble. That I was like, oh, he's not gonna last because I thought previously, I think he had him in a choke, and he's gonna tap or he's gonna go to sleep, and then he escaped, and
yeah.
he was just surviving. I was like, he can't survive for 4 minutes, and then he
No.
ended up choking him, which I didn't think he was gonna. I thought he was gonna get knocked out, but
Yeah.
I did not see Cody winning the fight, and he did better than I thought he was, and he did not take damage. So there's
Well,
that.
speaking of surviving, I mean, I don't want to. I'm jumping quite a bit, but holy smokes, Yan Lang. I don't know her other name, but Yan, the Chinese girl.
The co, the
Holy
co, the co.
smokes! Yeah, she held on. She went to sleep. She wasn't quitting. There was no quit in her. I mean, I don't know if it's something about but she showed so much heart, and I was not looking forward to that fight. But can you believe she passed out at 1 second?
Yeah, and then she just got up and was like, "Where am I? What's up?"
Exactly. Are we still fighting? What's going on here? Huh. But yeah, so Figueroa, where do you think he goes next? Do you think he gets a shot up the ranks, or obviously he gets
well,
shot up the ranks, but do you think there's a good fight up there for him?
well, he's a former champion, so that kind of
Yeah.
helps, and he's older, so he's probably the problem with him or problem with the division is 135 is pretty stacked. So,
Yeah.
but they gave him Cody, which I guess is a former champion, and Cody's not even
Yeah.
ranked technically. So, and I think he
Yeah.
was ranked 8 going into the fight. So I think they probably give him. He gets a top 5 guy next, and
Yeah.
then if he
So let's
wins it,
see.
especially if he finishes him, he's he's pretty close to the title shot because then I think the next title is going to be it's going to be O'Malley and Marab, and then after
Yeah.
that it's Sandhagen and I think it's Khabib's cousin Umar. So
Oh
he's
gosh.
pretty close. Yeah, so he's pretty close to it. I think he needs one more win, and he'll get a title
Yeah.
shot, maybe 2.
Let's see who's in the top five.
One
So
135.
yeah, I haven't
You got
seen
to go down,
Khabib's
or
cousin. No, I got to go up.
yeah,
So
Umar.
Is he good? Have you seen him fight or what?
I've seen him fight, and then he's he's a typical, Russian, but having that last name kind of gives you that push.
Yeah. Who's the champion of that division? Is it?
So Sideshow Bob.
Oh, okay. Sean O'Malley. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I always forget that Sean is like really light. You know what I mean? That he doesn't have much
Yeah,
weight to him because he's so tall and he looks
yeah,
like
because
he's a big guy.
yeah, 'cause he's like 5'11". So Marab, he's next. Aljo's gone. Corey, he's looking for a fight. Jan won, but I think he tore his ACL, so he's out.
Yeah.
Marlon just lost the belt. Cejudo's lost.
Yeah.
Song Yadong
Kudos, man.
lost. So yeah,
Figueroa.
yep.
And then you
So
got Umar here. So it's going to be between them two. Maybe you could see a fight between Figueroa and Umar.
well, Sanhagen was supposed to fight Umar, but Umar
Okay.
got hurt, so that got pushed. So
Gotcha.
they might do I think they could do the rematch, or not the
Okay.
rematch, but the fight that got canceled, and then Marab's
Yeah.
next, and then
Uh,
and then
what
Fig
about this
gets
guy right here? Sterling. Does he come back down? I guess we're going
no,
to get
he's
to
done.
that.
He's done.
Really? Okay. I
Well,
mean, it
well,
didn't.
he won't.
Not
Well,
a
he
lot
won't
happened.
fight.
I mean, look at Max Holloway. He lost how many fights against Volk, and now he's like back in the mix for it. So for Sterling to be done, it would be kind of
Well, not
outrageous.
done. I don't think he's done fighting, but he he uh he won't fight Marab.
Okay, yeah. Why
They're
do you think that?
they're
Why do you say that?
because they train at the same gym, and
Oh,
they
gotcha.
were Marab was in his corner, and they said
Yeah.
we won't ever fight each other.
You think that's a good idea that these fighters they don't want to fight each other or something like that? You think that's smart for them or?
I know Dana does not like that, so that's why Aljo he
But what do
that's why
you think?
Dana
What do you
doesn't.
like?
I guess it depends, but I guess they're also like boys. So I guess I
Okay.
could
Yeah.
see it.
Well, when I play basketball at the 24-hour fitness, I don't want to shake hands with the other team because I kind of want to have that, feeling that I'm angry at this person or that I want to beat them and that I have no mercy. So I don't want to really be friends with them or something like that. Or if I'm in some kind of league, maybe it's like that on a bigger level. Obviously, a much bigger level than the 24-hour fitness or
Uh,
outside basketball courts. But do you think that's kind of running through their minds that they have to be 100% in, ready to kill this person?
yeah, well, I guess they're kind of like teammates though.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So
they trained with each other every day. They probably, you know,
exactly. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. I see we got a bunch of people in the viewing the the UFC 300 recap. So if you guys have any thoughts, if you think that Figueroa should fight Mirab instead, let us know.
uh,
But
well, Marab
is it
should
already
get
set?
it's not set, but he's gonna get the shot next, and then after that it's wait and see. But yeah,
You know how
the
Sean
thing
O'Malley is.
yeah,
He's picky. He's very picky. That
he's
freaking
very
guy.
picky. But
Yeah.
Marab, he's good at selling fights. It's like when they face off against when they faced off against Aljo, and then Marab took his uh his Michael Jackson jacket.
Okay. Yeah. 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 That's pretty funny. But so let's take a look at this next fight. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you think about the first fight, Cody versus Figueroa?
It was a good fight. It went exactly how I thought. I didn't think Cody was gonna win, but he looked better than what I expected. It was out of 10. It was like a 7. It was a good fight, solid fight.
Okay, all right, right on. And let's go to the next fight, which is Bobby Green versus your boy
Jim,
and the person that you emulate when he fights in real life, Jim Miller. That was was that everything you expected from Jim Miller? Holy smokes.
Ah,
Is he I still don't think he showed up to the fight. He's still somewhere out there in the world looking for a fight. You know what I mean? I don't know
he
what happened to Jim Miller, but he fell off the map.
he's an old man, dude. He's been fighting. He's been fighting in the UFC longer than I've been watching the UFC. That's
Fine.
insane.
Fine, but Jim Miller's old, but so is Bobby Green. All right.
Yeah.
And Jim Miller had, I think they both had everything to fight for, but everybody's talking about, okay, he been to UFC 100, UFC 200. Man, we really got a Jim Miller, that's so cool. And then you come to 300 and throw up that goose egg. It's like you scored
Well,
no points in 15 minutes.
well, I thought Bobby Green was gonna win going into
Oh,
the
did
fight.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on
Bobby
a second.
Green,
Hold
he's
on a
like
second. Do the recap. I need to take this. Go ahead.
because
Keep
Bobby
going.
Green, he's like I kind of consider him like a black Nate Diaz. And Bobby Green, he did I thought it would be a lot closer, but
Yeah.
Bobby Green, because Bobby Green, he just goes in there ready to fight. He's always talking smack. He always has his
Yeah.
hands super low, and he's always doing
Bro.
combos. And the problem with Bobby Green is because he doesn't really finish you, so
Yeah.
like he loses a lot of split decisions.
Okay. Yeah,
But
but that fight looked like Bobby Green was Floyd Mayweather. Even more than that, it looked like Bobby Green was like, I don't know, who's someone that dances and you look like Muhammad Ali out there, brother. I mean, what the freak?
like I said right now, he's like the black Nate Diaz.
Jeez, that was something, bro. I just didn't expect that. I expected a BMF match between these two. So I'm a little bit
Yeah.
surprised at what we saw the whole fight. I mean, we were just like, okay, he's about to start. Here we go. And let me look at this because I would like to
He
see how many
he
how many punches he threw.
he picked up. He was doing the jab and then the kick, jab kick, jab kick. He was doing those 1-2 combos. And Jim Miller, that eye was beat up. He had two
Yeah.
cuts on the eye, one like above the what is it, the eyelash, and the one right under the eye. He
They
was
were
messed.
it was
That could have been fight of the night. To
oh
be
yeah.
honest,
What? Wait, you're talking about the Bobby Green Jim Miller fight? Could have been fight of the night?
oh, just because they were both going at it, but
Did you think
I
that?
don't.
I felt like Jim Miller wasn't throwing any punches. Look at this 187 to 58 strikes. Can you see the screen? Well, it's
Yeah.
a 187
Well,
for Bobby Green, 58 for Jim Miller.
well, I just was entertained by the fight.
Interesting. I was not entertained. I was so disappointed in Jim Miller's performance. When it went to the decision, did you think there's any other outcome or what?
I thought he won all 3 rounds.
Absolutely. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you think this fight was rank in your personal opinion?
Like a 6 or 7. I like the blood. Anytime I see someone bleeding like crap,
Oh
I'm
my
always
gosh.
it's always
Jeez.
a thumbs up.
You don't even care about these people. You're like, bash their brains. Let's see you kill each other. You just no. But yeah, no, I want to see them kind of taking care of each other. But I thought honestly that the referee should have stopped the fight. I thought the
He was
stoppage
really, yeah, he was really close at the end of the third round, or in the
yeah,
third round to stopping it.
yeah. No, I thought it should have stopped. It was bad, dude. And Bobby Green, I almost felt like he was like, oh man, this is bad. But he wanted that knockout and he couldn't get it. I was surprised. Bobby
No,
Green got knockout powered. He's got more knockout power than Nate Diaz, don't you think?
yeah,
Yeah, so I was a little bit disappointed. But let's check. So what fight what did you get that on a scale from 1 to 10?
I guess 6.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I give it a 4 in my book. That was worst night No, there was another fight that was worse, but I give it a
Oh
I give it
yeah,
a 4.
no,
Yeah.
that wasn't even close to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we got Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. What did you think about this fight? I'm curious to see what you thought about this fight because I have an opinion.
So I thought Andrade won the fight. I thought it was very close. Marina, she dominated most of the fight, but she just didn't put that the damage, and then Andrade the first round, freaking Marina's winning the whole round.
Yeah,
Basically the round, and then she slips and Andrade takes her down and just
yeah,
does a bunch of ground and pound
yeah,
and wins the first round. The second round, Marina's pretty much she won like 4 minutes of the round because she's just she was too long and she was just using her reach and keeping her distance
yeah.
and she was piecing her up, but she wouldn't land any
Absolutely.
damage. It was just all volume, all volume. And then
Yeah.
Andrade, I think the last minute she landed a couple shots, which
He took her
she was
down a
always
little
doing the
bit.
most. She was always doing most damage. And then the third round, it was kind of like the same thing. Marina's winning the fight. She's picking her apart, and then Andrade just takes her down. And I'm like, she could not get up. So I thought
No,
Andrade
no.
won the fight. I thought it was close, but
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you a
I think
question. If Marina won the fight, would you be like, "Oh, no, 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 no. That went the opposite way," or were you like, "Okay, it could have went either way."
either way, because I think Marina she won a majority of the fight, but
Yeah.
Andrade just she had those little spurts that won her the fight.
Well, I'm
'Cause
looking at this right now, and the total strikes was 124 on Andrade to 94 to Rodriguez. But I think a lot of those strikes are from the ground because
yeah, the
easily
first round,
Marina was like the tactician, and she was. I thought her boxing was beautiful. I thought it was the best thing ever. Just watching her footwork and everything. It was she's long and lanky. It was just beautiful to watch, and I thought
yeah, I
Marina
was
won.
yeah, she won a majority of the fight. It's just she's like a crappy female version of Max Holloway. Just super long, just
Yeah,
striking, but
obviously.
she just
Yeah,
didn't. She just couldn't do any damage. And then
yeah,
Andrade, she was just looking for the power shots,
yeah.
and then she was piecing her up, and then she'd take her down, and then it was over.
I was fairly sure that Marina won. I thought they were going to raise her hand when they said Andrade. I was disappointed from what I had just saw.
Let me
But
ask you a question. Ask a question. How much you paying
Yeah,
to make those calls?
she won a majority of the fight. I think they just gave her the. It depends on I guess what you judge it on. It's who wins the majority of the time or damage, because
I hate
Andrade did
that.
more damage.
I hate the idea of the takedowns counting so significantly if they're not like takedowns that actually lead to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that kind of gets me upset because I don't find it to be significant at all. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what did you rate Marina and Andrade?
this one I'd say it was about a 6.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They both went at it. They both brought it, and it went the distance. So good fight to them. What do you guys think in the chat? Give us a scale from 1 to 10 if you caught this fight between Andrade and Rodriguez, or which fight you thought was the best. But I'm going to move on to Jalen Turner versus Money Moicano, the man himself, the myth. I
Oh,
mean,
jeez.
did he impress you? He impressed me because listen, in his press conference, he was talking it up, and he was making it. So for him to come in and get the win in a significant way, I think puts him up there as a fan favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, so going into the fight, I thought Jalen Turner was going to win the fight.
Yes, I did too.
I thought he was.
Absolutely.
I thought the size, the length, and that
Yeah.
because he's a huge 155. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Moicano, he's a good fighter. I like Moicano. I saw him fight Brian Ortega in Anaheim when they were
yeah.
both like undefeated.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And what'd you think about
And
him?
he's a good fighter. But I was like,
Yeah.
he's in his mid 30s, and I just thought I thought Turner was gonna win. And then
Okay,
Moicano,
so
he was winning. He was
let
winning
me ask you
most of that. Go.
let me ask you a question. What was that name? What's the guy's name that fought Colby, who Colby said, this guy's a quitter. He quits. He quits. He's not going to stand in the ring with me. He's garbage. And then he fought him, and guess what? He got the back and he just quit. So, and he was in that division for a long time. Nice guy, but he said they don't want to fight. Everybody was like, he doesn't want to fight. And he was like a wrestler who had some hands that he dropped he would drop bombs sometimes. Do you remember who that
Col-
is?
Colby Covington fought him.
Yeah, Colby Covington, and everybody fought him in the division, and he just quit.
Was it
Oh,
Damian Maya?
no. It was a black guy who had heavy hands, and he fought everyone in that division and pretty much gave up every time. But he had some big knockouts. That's what kind of made him. Oh my
Oh no,
gosh, it's
you're
driving
not
me.
thinking Colby. You're thinking DC. You're thinking Rumble.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking Rumble Johnson. Yeah. So
Yeah,
watching Jalen
the rear
Turner.
naked choke. Rear naked
Yeah,
choke.
you're right. You're right. I've been saying Colby this whole time, but yeah, you're right. It's DC. So
DC.
Jalen Turner knocked him down and then walked away and looked at the ref. You saw that. I mean, are we? This guy has no heart. He didn't take it to the mat and try to smash his brains out like some of these killers do. So
I
do
don't.
you
I
think
don't.
he maybe?
I don't think it was the no heart. I think he was trying to like, I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna walk away, and it's gonna be like, oh, look at me. I get that 300K bonus. I think that's what he was trying to do. Trying to like be
Really?
like, look at me. I'm on the. I did a walk off knockout on 300. Give me the 300K, which
Okay, but
I
he
thought
looked at
was
the ref and he pointed and was like doing some stuff I didn't really understand, so
I
it
thought
didn't
it
make
was
much sense
stupid.
to me.
I
Yeah,
thought it was retarded. I was like, because I saw it, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Finish him.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it cost him his win bonus. It cost him a win. And then even if you like, I guess it's cool to be like, oh, look at me, I knocked him out and I walked away. But it's
Yeah,
like, come on, bro, you gotta, even if you don't do that and you because he was done. You one more shot and Moicano's done. There was like 10,
absolutely.
15 seconds left. The ref's gonna stop it. You
I
go,
mean,
you land yourself and you punch him, and then you still get the knockout. It's still like a TKO.
yeah. But not even I don't know. I think that even if he came back and he was like to jump on top of him, it's not guaranteed it was over, but
I think it
by
was
you
over.
doing nothing.
I think he would have. I think McConnell, he was at the brink of being done. As you jump
Yeah.
on him, you land 2, 3 shots. I think the ref's stopping it, and then
Yeah,
after that,
yeah.
I think it just like I think it just kind of like psychologically messed him up, and then he just like, damn, I really effed up, didn't I? And McConnell just
Great.
took advantage, beat him, and it had a heck of a freaking mic. First Amendment
Yeah, absolutely.
ending.
I love his so did Ace.
Those
Ace
fights.
loved his thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, freaking Chad over here. He's like, hey, Joe Rogan, no, I don't want to be on your podcast. You come on my podcast.
absolutely. Yeah.
Money Moicano, freaking. I,
Absolutely.
I, I, I wanted him to get a bonus so bad after that.
Well, not only that, didn't he pick him up and slam him on the ground? Didn't he
No, that was
suplex
the
him?
Aljo. That was the Aljo
Oh, that
fight.
was the Aljo fight. Okay, forget it. Don't talk about that. But out of all the things in this fight that I saw, it was yes, that the fact that he turned away, that gave me the idea that he's not about that. I'm trying to find that where he walks away so that we could put it on the screen, but man, that just looked like he walked away. But Moicano, he
Yeah, I thought he was just trying to look cool. That's
yeah, if it went to the ground, Moicano definitely has the upper hand, don't you think?
Oh yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, on the ground, he's doesn't stand a chance.
Absolutely. So, yeah, let's see. All right, let's go to I got right here his ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Freaking ESPN trying to tell him not to swear on national television. First
Well, yeah,
Amendment, brother, and he still swears.
he had to
It's
wait till the end.
mother effing Moicano.
Yeah, money Moicano. So I'm excited to see him get back into the ring.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Yeah. So that was the end of the prelims, and then we jump off to this amazing fight. Sadiq Youssef. So I had much respect for Youssef. I didn't think that everybody's been talking about Diego Lopez and how great he is.
I like Lopez. Yeah.
Did you think he was great? I mean, before this fight, were you like, oh, okay, were you on the Diego Lopez train or what? Anybody in the chat see that fight? What did they think?
I like Lopez because he fought the like basically like the top 5 contender at 145 off like it was like a week's notice, and he did really well. And then I know last time when Trump was at the fights, he was the opener on the main card, and he had like a freaking first round finish. He comes to fight, dude, and he fights at the Alexa Grasso's camp, and he's just like he wants to bang.
But it looked like he takes a lot of hits, though. It looks like Diego Lopez comes forward. Like that might work against the lower guys, but I don't think that's going to work later. I think he's got to be very careful. So let's see, because it could be one of those things where the young fighter just thinks he's untouchable.
Yeah, well, that's how he fights. He's kind of like a Cerrone, Is he
Apparently
going to win the belt?
20. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he going to win the belt? Probably not. But are you going to like to watch him fight? Yeah,
I think the UFC wants him.
Yeah. Especially he's Brazilian and he fights in Mexico, so they like that. They like that audience.
Yeah, he's not even ranked, but he should be in the rankings pretty soon. So
yeah, this is like his 3rd or 4th fight in the UFC. He hasn't been in the UFC too long.
Yeah, and the odds on this were pretty darn close. So I guess a lot of people won money because there was heavy money on Diego Lopez. So
yeah,
there you go. So 1 out of 10. What do you think that fight was? Youssef and Lopez.
Well, freaking, it lasted 1:29. He knocked him down twice. I guess it's an 8.
Oof. So that sounds like that's a good fight to you, but I guess it was exciting. It was basically he was there with a toy. You know what I mean? He did whatever he wanted.
You can't complain about a 1:30 finish in the first round.
Yeah, you can't punish him for that. But let's move to this next fight: the preacher's daughter versus your girl, Kayla.
Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, what's her? I kept calling her Kayla Turner yesterday. I don't know why, but Kayla Harrison, the new coming UFC girl. It looks like she'll be here for a while. She's not any Megan Anderson, that's for sure. She's the real deal.
She's not like Megan Anderson. Freaking both these chicks, usually freaking Holly comes in like super shredded, and Kayla, freak, man. I'd be scared to mess. I wouldn't cheat on Kayla, man. She might kill me, dude. She's
Absolutely.
got veins popping out, and she's like a female, like Michael Chandler. She's.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'll have what she's having.
No, dude, that girl is freaking packing heat. Sure, her body, she looked like a pit bull. She looked like Androge on steroids, man. It was kind of scary to see that much muscle on a lady, you know. And she's
Yeah,
a
she's
judo
like,
girl, and you could see the judo moves, right?
yeah,
That really worked
with the
out.
leg sweeps and everything. It's like, oh man, like she she could rape me
Oh yeah,
easily.
easily. Yeah, you might as well
I
just
don't,
give it up.
she's like, hey, you wash dishes? Yes, ma'am. Yes, whatever you want me to do. Do not beat
Yeah,
me up.
yeah. The idea is just don't get in that relationship because it was brutal.
She,
Yeah,
yeah, because get away from her.
exactly. That didn't make any
Wow,
sense.
wow, 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 wow.
And then she
I,
just, it was a smashing.
I said, run, run. You know, it's like Holly Holm. You know what you do? You did it against Ronda Rousey against the judo girl, obviously. And this girl didn't have her hands up. So I didn't, Kayla didn't have her hands up. So I was like, okay, she might be able to get that over the hands leg kick like she usually does. And she didn't even try it. Only 7 strikes from Holly Holm. What is going on? Is she done?
What is she? She's what, 42? She's I think she's done. Even Dana said in the press conference after, he's like, I think she should retire.
I can't believe that we didn't see a single retirement in this match with Jim Miller, Holly Holm, and then forgive me, Lord, but I suggested Max Holloway, but what an idiot I look like. So I don't even want to talk about that yet. Yeah, because that's going to be like a whole hour on that fight. But 1 to 10, what did you think about this one?
Um, it was a freaking smashing. So I guess I'll give it a 7. Kayla, it's her UFC debut. She fought at the
Yeah.
PFL
Okay.
two, and she's basically you give her a title shot next, and then I thought
Ooh.
you give her a title shot next, and then if she wins that, I don't know, maybe Amanda might get a little hungry, and you do her against Amanda. She come out of
Yeah.
retirement.
That would be a super fight, man. That would be pretty cool. She's better
And
than
then
Cyborg, I think. What do you think?
that was that and who, Amanda or
No,
Kayla?
Kayla. Kayla.
Well, Kayla, when she fought at the PFL, she fought at 155. So you could even do like if you really want to push Kayla, you could even have her fight Amanda at 145, and
Yeah.
then
I think
I guess
I think
I guess she
Amanda
could.
would destroy her. She's got her striking ability is garbage. It looks like she gets her hands down and she's got like this old 1920s kind of stance. And if she needs to take her down immediately, or she's gonna get lit up. Hopefully. But I would not be looking forward to seeing her fight Nunes. That doesn't seem like a good fight. I think Nunes would light her up. What do you think?
Well, obviously, striking wise, Nunes would smoke her, but I don't know. Maybe she takes her down. Who knows? I
I hope so.
right now, women's 35. There's no fights that get my wiener
Anybody
hard.
wants to
So
see. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
like I wouldn't mind seeing it just because everyone else is. Ugh,
Yeah, yeah. Unless you
give
could
me
get
some
a
excitement.
Whaley Zhang versus Kayla, but they're way too far apart, I think, in weight, right?
No, yeah, that won't happen. That's like 20 pounds, dude.
She's in Alexa Grasso's
Yeah,
division or no? Yeah.
no,
So, oh, she's in Raquel Pennington's division, right? Yeah.
yeah, and Ricky Pennington, ugh, most boring fighter ever. Can't believe she's a champion.
Yeah, yeah. But she is the champion. You will respect her.
Well, by default, because everyone
But
she's only champion because Amanda retired and everyone else got old, and she just
well,
kind of lasted.
I'll take it if I'm her.
She,
So this fight
man,
right here. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, she's a quitter. She fought an Amanda and wanted to quit their coach told her, "No, you're not quitting it. You want to quit in the championship fight? Get the heck out of here. That's not what a champion does."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this fight right here between Aljo and Qatar, pretty even money. I mean, holy smokes. Cater is right there with Jim Miller, just kind of hanging out. You know, actually, when I'm thinking the Bobby Green fight, the whole thing I said was a mistake. I was totally thinking of Cater's fight. He's the one who didn't throw punches. Yeah, I got that all mixed up.
Yeah, he even he
Jim
even
Miller
DC,
did all right.
Yeah, DC. That's what DC was saying during the fight.
Oh, freak. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, this
But
fight went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
yeah, so the chat says, "You sound so stupid for saying Kayla is better than Cyborg after one fight." Well, I mean, you obviously want to be there when people have seen so much. I'm in the prediction area. I look at the style of fighting, and they have a similar style. A Cyborg, that seems to me is kind of like when men fight in women's sports and they just overpower you. That's what Cyborg fights like. So I liked the judo from Kayla. So what do you think? You think would you say anything about Cyborg better than Cyborg and Kayla, Mr. Professor?
It's too early to say Kayla would be better. She's got to, because she's only fought in the PFL and Invicta, bunch of scrubs. But
Yeah.
she could potentially be better. But right now, no, not Kayla. Cyborg is better than Kayla easily. One's Nunes, two is probably, I'd say, Cyborg. Three is either I guess with the bigger women, it's like a man.
Yeah.
It's Ronda,
Raquel
and
Pennington.
Raquel No, not Raquel, not Rita Pennington. She's not
Okay,
even in the picture.
what do you think about what's your Cater and Sterling? Do you think Sterling looks pretty good at this weight? It's unbelievable. The two people that went up in weight, they are looking phenomenal.
Well, this fight went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Exactly.
Yes.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Because Aljo was a very big 135er.
Mhm.
He went up to 145. The cut's not as bad. He's a little bit older. And Aljo's whole game is he's got great cardio. Has very good wrestling, jiu-jitsu. And then when he's like, I'm going to be a backpack and just wear you down. That's what he does. That's why when he fought O'Malley, I thought he was going to beat O'Malley easily because he was just going to go backpack on him. But
he sure didn't.
I think he learned his lesson from the O'Malley fight. He's like, you know what? Let's stick to the game plan. Who cares if I get booed? I'm going to get booed regardless. And let's make it a boring. Let's make it a boring fight, because if it's a boring fight, Aljo is going to win it all day. He's just going to be a fast pack and outpoint you, and that's what he did.
Yeah, but they didn't actually. I don't think they booed the fight. I think they booed Qatar. How do you say his last name?
Qatar.
Yeah, whatever his name is. But Calvin, I guess. Yeah, I think they were booing him because he wasn't participating. Aljo was literally doing anything. He was on the back. He was on the front. He was taking him down. He was throwing punches. And it was like, gosh, dang, how come you can't end this guy? And he just stuck around. So what are you going to do?
His whole he's a striker. He's a boxer. That's what he does. He has no ground game.
Yeah.
So you take him down. Obviously, he's an MMA fighter, but he's not at the quality that Aljo is. Aljo, that's all he does, and he trains with Marab. that's all they do is grapple and clinch and you know,
Exactly.
grind it out. Kier likes to grind it out, but he likes to strike. It's
Well,
just a
does
bad,
he? Hold on. Does he like to strike? Because I didn't see that.
he is a striker. It's just how many times
Okay,
have
if
we
you say
seen
so.
when a striker fights a wrestler, you know, pick the wrestler,
I guess so.
pick the
I,
ground guy. It's just because once that ground guy once he takes him down, that guy doesn't know what to do. And then I
yeah,
guess he had good. He was what Cater was doing. He was just doing like holding Aljo enough where it's like, hey, he's not really doing much. So
yeah,
stand us back up. But the ref's like,
yeah,
no, dude, you're kind of delaying it.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, obviously unanimous fight. No problem with
Th-
that.
Yeah,
Boring.
yeah, that.
So rank from 1 to 10. What do you say?
Oh, this was the worst fight of the card. You
Oh,
know,
I think
it's
one fight was worse, but yeah, okay.
off the top of my head, I think this one's probably the worst one. It's like a 4. Aljo dominated him.
Yeah,
Calvin could not do anything.
yeah.
Good win for Aljo. He's a former champ. Fights the top.
So the
I
chat
don't know what
says
his.
just to bring it back, she beat an old Holly Holm. Cyborg is good at BJJ and strong to defend takedowns. Rocky sucks butthole. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, you have the same
Yeah,
kind of feeling against Rocky as the chat does. And then also Max broke Cater and took his soul. Facts. That was a career changing butt kicking by Max. Wow. Yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely. So
yeah.
let me ask you real quick before you start talking. What does Aljo do next? And what's up with
Aljo.
the chat?
So Aljo, he gets a. I would say he gets a top 5 guy next. You give him maybe Ortega or whoever it is, and
Yeah,
then he's an older fighter, so and he's a
yeah,
former champ. So yeah, I'd say he's either 1 or 2 fights away from a title shot at 145, and then
absolutely.
Cater Cater he hasn't fought in like I think it was like a year and a half or a year because he tore his ACL his last fight. And then
Yeah,
just like the chat said, he took a lot of damage in that Max fight. Max landed so many significant shots on him,
oh
and
yeah,
it went
that's
5
true.
rounds. It
Yeah,
was he took a lot of damage, and he's in his mid 30s. It's
absolutely.
just a bad thing for Cater.
Exactly. So let's move on to this fight. Juri Porshinka, the samurai, versus Alexander, he's him, Rakic
Rakic.
from Serbia. And what is your initial thought of this fight? What did you think coming out to this fight? And also to the chat, what did you think about this fight? Get in on this. If you got any questions, if you had any feelings about this was the main event of the prelims, let's hear what you had to say. Go ahead, Mr. Professor.
So going into this fight, I wanted Jiri to win because
Okay.
I'm a big Jiri fan, and then
Yeah.
Rakic. I'm not a big Rakic fan just because he's a point fighter.
Okay.
That's what he does. He's
He
very
was
good.
active.
Yeah, he's very good in general, but
Yeah.
he won the first round easily. You know, it's like oh freak, and it's a 3 round fight. It's like he was and the jury would
Yeah.
come forward, and then obviously jury landed the bigger shots, but yeah, Rakic for most of the fight looked very good and very impressive. You know,
I
and
couldn't, but all
Jiri's
those
just
leg
being
kicks that he was eating, I thought I mean, that definitely took its toll later on, but he was walking right through him. He said, I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to keep fighting. I'm not going to back off. I'm going to keep the pressure on. Very impressive.
yeah, Jiri, yeah, he leg kicks. All right, leg kick me, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then
That's
and then
brutal.
he would like land some shots, and you could see it hurt Rakic, and then Jerry would just come forward. It's like with his hands down. It's like, you ready, bro? You ready? Let's
Wow.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And then he just what yeah, Jerry, he does what Jerry does, you know. And
And he
Rakic,
did get a
man,
bonus.
did he get a bonus?
Yeah, Jury got a bonus. Him and Max got bonuses for performance of the night. So
Performance, and then fight of the
yes,
night was the Max one.
obviously, no question about it. They asked
I
Dana
don't know
White,
about that.
was it hard to figure out which was the fight of the night? And obviously he said no. No, it wasn't. Yeah, but the chat says Max landed 455 significant strikes against Cater. That was an example of when a corner should have stopped the fight. I find Jury and this boring. It was all a fake walk for him. Wow. I didn't think that was fake. I thought that was real. I mean, are you saying that you thought Alexander was like rigged to not give him a good fight because he was taking those leg kicks and those were real? So I think a great performance for Jury, and he just moved up in the contention for a title shot.
Well, Jerry's the former champ. He lost to Matt. He lost to Alex.
Oh, okay.
And
He's saying it was a cakewalk for him. I don't think any cakewalk. I think the old Jury would have done some stupid stuff, some spins, some rolls, and some back fists, and he just said, I'm gonna eat your leg kick. So I think he might have changed it after his last fight against Pereira, and he said, I need it. I think I need to either man up or change my fighting style or go back and to the drawing board. But he manned up, and if this is his new fighting style, I'm a big fan. But yeah, so on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you think, Mr. Professor?
I'll give it a 7. Freaking heck of a comeback for Jerry, because he was down on the fight. He was losing on the cards.
Yeah,
he just came forward and got the
performance
finish.
of the night. Yeah,
Called his shot. Said, "Hey, I want that title shot. I want next."
yes,
And I can't disagree with it. He should fight for the belt. He should get the rematch next against Alex.
absolutely, yes, sir. I do want to see that now. I mean, I know that the first one was just not that fascinating, but this one kind of brought me to thinking again. You gotta get the fans excited. You got to get them thinking as to what happened in the fight. So let's move to this next fight. Oh, go ahead.
That and Jerry, he's pretty excited. And if Jerry's not going to get a title shot, who else is? There's no one else.
There's a lot of people.
No,
you don't think
Jamal
so?
Hill,
Huh?
Jamal Hill lost. There's that Magomed Akanelov, and that he's a good fighter, but he's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And then Jan's old. Rakic just lost.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Johnny Walker's done. Khalil Roundtree's done. Anthony Smith is done. Although Anthony Smith does have a main event coming up, but I don't think anybody cares to see him.
No, I don't want to see that loser.
But he is pretty cool dude. But yeah, not in the ring. So but maybe we'll see something with going into different weight divisions. Maybe you see a John Jones come down to that division or something like that. That would be cool because the heavyweight and the light heavyweight are kind of thin when it comes to fighters. And Alex Pereira looking to go up, looking to fight Tom Aspinall, I'm thinking. But
I don't like that.
That's a super fight. He looks big, Pereira, so I don't think that would be much of a weight cut for him.
He's a big guy, but I'd rather have
you rather see him fight Fury.
Yeah, I don't like fighters who barely got the belt and defended it a few times and then go up. You got to clean the division before you go up.
But the division is so boring, and then you got the heavyweight division that's so boring. Maybe you could just combine those two and make it a little more exciting,
I'd like to see the Jury matchup. I'd like to see him fight Jerry If he
Yeah.
beats Shuri again, and then I don't like the Magomed guy, but if he beats him after that, then I'll be like, you know what? He's defending the title like two would be
Yeah.
3 times,
But you
and
got to
then
think about
everyone
this.
else.
That's 2 fights. That's like a year. And then Pereira's, he's older. So I don't know if how much time you want to waste because I think he is a draw. Don't you think? Even though he doesn't speak English, I think he draws just because of the whole Adesanya trilogy kind of thing.
Yeah, he's on. Well, the UFC knows he's a draw. He's had a heck of a freaking
Career.
well, yeah, it's been a short career, but he's UFC gives him just freaking murderers, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So
he's fought Jamal Hill, former champion. He's fought
exactly.
Jerry, former champion. His first fight at 205 was against Jan, former champion. He fought
Yep.
Izzy twice, 2 champions, and then
Yeah.
before that, before he got the Izzy fight, he fought Strickland, former
Yeah.
champion.
Knocked him out. Jeez.
So it's like he's got like 10 fights in the UFC,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
8 of them are former champions.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, how long before freaking Strickland is fighting for the BMF title? Isn't that maybe he doesn't want it? I don't know. Maybe he's not respected, but I think he would make a ton of money, and I know he wants money. So, I mean, geez, that's like a automatic, don't you think? Because all he wants to do is go in there and bang. In fact, him fighting Dricus is kind of like a BMF title because they're going for broke.
The problem is I don't think
Look at Justin Gaethje. He was up for next, and he said, "I'm going to go to the BMF title." So I think that was a bad move for him, but he did it, and we got a great show. But he's going to forever, and that's going to hurt his legacy. But he did it for the fans. I think that's awesome. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it kind of hurts his legacy a little.
The problem is with Strickland is I don't think a lot of people like how Strickland talks, so that could be a little bit of a
but
of a negative for
UFC
him.
people love him. UFC people love him. We need to get Ace on here, man. I would love to hear his thoughts on this, but he's I think that lots of people love how he talks in the UFC fans, maybe not the regular media and the casual fan.
Yeah,
and I think Max.
I like Strickland,
Yeah,
and I'm sure a lot of UFC fans like Strickland, but I don't think the mainstream likes Strickland. That's the only problem.
Good. That's what kind of like UFC fans like. But the chat says Bo Nickel is a 3-time NCAA wrestling champ at Penn State. If he is not rushed up, he could be dominant. How O'Malley's career went. So that's funny because earlier they're talking about Kayla Harris said, "Oh, she can't be great," and now we're talking about Bo Nickel can be great. I think that's a little bit of a because what I've seen out of Bo Nickel is. Wah, wah, wah. Worst fight of the night. Boring. Can't finish. It looked like
We got the finish, technically.
got the finish. Yeah, he got the finish. Hey, wake me up. Go ahead. Talk about this fight. I'm gonna go to sleep real quick, okay? Wake me up when this fight's over.
So Bo Nickel,
wake me up with some booze.
So Bo Nickel, he was a minus 2,800 favorite. Biggest favorite in UFC history.
Yeah.
Which is
and Brundage showed up.
He did a lot better than I thought he'd do. And then it's I was watching all the UFC embeddeds, right?
Yeah.
And they were showing like every fighter, right? The only fighter they never showed was what's his name? Brundage.
Okay.
It's the only one they didn't show. And even DC was like, hey, I was watching like the press, like the post, like weigh-in shows, like, hey,
So chat says Kayla is 37 years old. Bo is a young prospect. Fair enough. So even more of a reason that you got to rush Kayla up to the top. Plus the division's kind of weak, not exciting. That's why she came in the post conference. I mean, in the press conference, and she was talking all kinds of smack. I liked what I heard from her, and hopefully she got her burger. But yeah, you got to rush Kayla up. You got to put her because she was exciting, and I think people would want to see her. Bo Nickel, boring. His fight was boring. I don't see it. But go ahead. Anything else you want to say about this fight?
His fight went. Oh, well, I don't think Kayla's 37. I think she's like 32 or 33.
Yeah, if she's 37. Come on. She's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's like 32, 33. Bo's either 27 or 28. But
yeah. For real, if that girl's 37, holy moly. She built like a freaking
tank.
I don't know, tank. Yeah. That's really crazy.
But the Bo fight went exactly how it was. He got a trash can. He smashed the trash can. I would like him to get, if it's not really a top 15 guy,
trash can, but go ahead.
He finished him in the second round. And the other guy, he did better. I think he even like reversed the takedown on Bo, which I don't think he was expecting. But I'd like to see him fight someone that's ranked between 15 and 20. You know,
stacked division though. Stacked division. I mean, who's he going to fight next?
Who's at 15?
So this is the middleweight fight.
Yeah,
so,
middleweight. Who's at 15?
Kai Barallo.
Yeah. You know, make him fight. Chris Curtis is out of the picture. Well, I think he called out Anthony Hernandez, so that's 12. If he wants to fight at 12 or 12 to 20.
Okay, yeah, he's got to get somewhere in the. You don't think in the top 10?
I think give him one more fight, and then he gets a top 10 guy.
I guess you don't want him to take any early losses because of not being prepared for sure. If he's going to be your guy in the that division, the middleweight division, which is stacked. So, would you say 1 out of 10? What did you like? What did you say about that fight?
What happened that I thought was going to happen. So I thought it was going to be a trash can fight. So a 5.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that was my worst fight of the night. But what did you? So Oliveira versus, especially coming. Yeah, but especially coming off the jury fight. I mean, gosh dang, what a letdown, right? So he couldn't have made that. Maybe they shouldn't have put him on the main card. And they were booing him in the press conference. I didn't understand that.
Well, already he should, you have Jerry, who's like a former champion, Nichols fighting some trash can, you don't want to see trash cans on on UFC 300. Because originally Charles was the opener, and then it was going to be Bo Nickel. But a lot of people complain about it. So then they changed it. You know what? Yeah, we have to. Let's make Nickel the opener, and then Charles. Because come on, dude. What? I don't even remember that guy's name. Who he fought?
Brundage. But whatever.
7-5. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's
garbage. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's up, chat? What did you think about Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tuxera, Sarkisian, whatever? Who cares? But he had a heck of a fight. They both did, in my opinion. Obviously, Charles came to fight. He wasn't going to be no trash can for Arman, even though Arman was the guy that everyone was expecting to kind of take care of Charles. I mean, Charles is just like, he's barely out of the championship. So, I mean, I don't know why he was taken so lightly. He came in quickly, and he almost had a win, right? He almost finished off Arman, don't you think, in the first round?
Yeah, so going into this fight, I thought Arman was going to win. He's a younger fighter. But Charles, I think it was like plus 200, which is like, that's a really good value. And coming off the gate, Charles was fucking, oh man, it's just, Joe Rogan does the
Yeah.
The DC.
Wow. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. I take full. Anyways, he was
But,
like to the one judge that said I didn't get it. I don't know what you're talking about, and he called him out that way. That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to. It was super funny, but anyways, yeah,
Well, yeah, because Armin, he fought Islam before, and
Yeah.
it was his UFC debut. I think it was like 23 or 24, and he lost 2-1, and it was a close fight. So now he's
yeah,
like, "Hey, I'm in my athletic prime. I've been fighting the UFC for a while.
yeah.
Let's go,
I
bro.
wonder how
I'm
old he
ready."
is. I wonder how
He's
old
like
he is.
28,
Yeah. What division is he? He is
155.
lightweight.
Yeah,
Lightweight. Let's
yeah.
see.
Armin is. Let's see how old. He's like he's he's really good.
Oh yeah. So do you think he would fight Islam
He's
or
27.
oh wow, yeah, he's super young. So you see him fighting Islam or what?
Um, well, P-Head
Maybe,
has the title shot next. Yeah, so he fought Islam in 29 April 20th, 2019. So about 5 years ago, and it was
yeah.
his UFC debut.
Oh
So
man,
he
they threw him
so
to
he
the
fought
wolves.
so he fought him when he was 22.
Yeah. Well, they were both kind of like lower at that time, so it wasn't like he's the champion or something. So they don't really know what to make of him. But I
Well,
guess
Islam
yeah.
was well 5 years ago. Islam, he's right now 32, so he's 27.
Hold on. So you think if Connor wins, they're gonna feed him to Islam because nobody wants to see that fight.
Connor gets whatever Connor wants.
Connor does not want to fight Islam. Nobody wants to see that fight. That's going to be boring, and Connor can't fight that kind of fight. He's got to fight a Justin Gaethje or a Dustin Poirier, a puncher. So if he fight him to one of these
I don't
Dagestanis,
think
man,
Poirier is gonna win.
yeah,
He's right.
I'd rather see Poirier fight him though than Connor. Connor's just he's done with that. He ain't got
Poirier
the
again.
drive. Yeah. So someone's got to take Islam out. Hopefully it's Poirier.
Yeah, because if Poirier wins,
Yeah.
Poirier's the champ. They're gonna want to do Connor Poirier again.
Yeah, that would be so awesome, even though it's a little bit undeserved. It's a lot of bit undeserved. Nobody gets that fight but Connor. But
Well,
yeah,
that and
you got
it's a way easier. Like Islam, it's a terrible matchup for Connor. Even Charles, he like Charles is a better matchup for Connor than Arman or Islam. Those two are just matchup nightmares for him.
yeah, absolutely. So now, so a ranking from 1 to 10, what did you say that last fight was? Charles and Arman.
It was 7. It was a good fight. Good,
Yeah.
close fight. Had a lot of title implications. And
Yeah.
then, Arman, he's basically right there. I think his next fight's going to be a title shot, unless
Yeah.
Connor skips the line.
Which
But
he can.
I think which he
yo.
can.
Here we go. Fight of the night. No introduction needed. If the chat ain't alive for this one, then they ain't alive. They're bots from Russia. So if you can't get woken up for this one, that's crazy because this is easily the fight of the night.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. So what's your taking on this? They came in, they did what they were supposed to do. If he doesn't take that leg kick to the nose, man, I don't even know. I don't think Justin loses, to be honest. But that kick to the nose threw him way off his game. And even Max said he was looking for the leg kick. It was something that he did that telegraphed it in the post-press conference. So that's super interesting. What did you think of this fight from beginning to end?
So going to the fight, I thought Gaethje was going to destroy Max. I love both the fighters. But
Yeah, of course.
I thought Gaethje was going to be too much for Max. And boy, was I wrong. I thought Max won. He picked apart Gaethje. I had it going into the last round. It was either 4-0 or 3-1. I thought, and then Max easily won the last round. So it was either a 5-0 or 4-1
Yeah.
Max decision, and he picked them apart.
I had it at 2-2 going into the 5th round, but
2-2.
Yeah.
Ugh. Because I had 1, 3, and 5. Max easily won. 2 and 4 were, I guess, kind of closer.
No,
4
4 was definitely his only round that he won.
Gaethje.
Yeah, Gaethje won for sure. Now I was giving 2 to Holloway because it looked like he had a little more activity and 1 knockdown, I believe, in that 2nd round. So
Yeah. I had a 4-1 going in, even without the freaking last second knockout. It would have been 4-1 Max.
No. Yeah, so it's kind of, so obviously that's what everyone's saying, is that for Holloway to say in the middle of the ring right now while I'm up and winning this fight is just unheard of, right?
Well, he did that against Ricardo Lamas right before he fought Max Holloway, or not Aldo. Before Max Holloway fought Aldo, and when he fought Lamas, he did the same thing. And then that's what a BMF does.
Which is kind of disgusting, don't you think? I mean, just to go to the middle of the ring and just kill each other, it's like,
he said,
what?
let's bang. And then they banged, and Max knocked them the freak out and got the finish. He got his moment, and he got $600K.
Ooh, yeah, he earned that. So if you're going to be the BMF champion, I mean, that's what you're expected to do. But I don't think it's good for the longevity of your life. If you're going to fight for that BMF title, you're going to get a little bit of brain damage. You don't want to put that belt up for title contention and hold it for too long, because you're going to be like, I don't know if you've seen, like, look at Mark Coleman and BJ Penn and, freaking some of these older fighters. Yeah, Chuck. It's like, oh man, that's not cool. I don't want to see him like that, but it was a heck of a fight. Definitely legendary. And that, when you watch UFC, it's going to be one of those fights that say, they're going to show it in the highlights all the time, 2 warriors going at it. So
I don't think it was that great of a fight, because I was watching the fight.
Yeah. Okay. I think everyone was watching the fight, but yeah, that was unbelievable. I thought it was just crazy. What did you guys think of in the fight in the chat? I mean, come on. You guys had to see this, and you guys had to think that this is ridiculous the way they're going at it. And so I give the second one to him too, because he got the 2 eye pokes. So that's a little bit ridiculous that they didn't take a point from him, don't you think?
I don't know. Well, freak, they didn't take any freaking points from Chris Weidman.
I don't give an F. This is on UFC 300. Everyone's watching it, and that guy was a nobody. This is Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. So I thought they were going to take away the point for sure. So that's why I gave 2 to him, because he came back after the 2 eye pokes. Maybe the judges were a little bit swayed by that, and he was active, and he didn't take the 5 minutes. He said, let's go right away. I got no problem with this.
Yeah.
What do you,
was it after the 1st or 2nd round when Max broke his nose? I think that was a huge factor in it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once he broke his nose, it was like Ace was saying, you can't breathe out of your nose. You got to breathe out of your mouth, and this is round 1. Oh my gosh. And the pace was incredible. And this was kind of slow for their fights, but they were still pushing the pace pretty quickly, more than other fights. So
yeah. Well, that, and like, that's what Max is known for, is his cardio and his pace. You know,
Yeah.
once, fourth and fifth round comes up,
Yeah.
championship rounds, that's when Max he puts it on you,
Yeah.
and it's like freaking, Gaethje, you can't breathe out of your nose. He broke your nose. You got to fight
Exactly.
Max.
Exactly.
It's cardio wise, you're not beating Max, especially in volume. And Max, he just,
Absolutely.
yeah, he looked fantastic. That's all I say. He
Yeah.
looked fantastic. I thought Gaethje was going to win, and I was completely wrong. And man, Max looked very good.
So, do you think that this will be his new weight? Ooh, look at this.
Well,
This is the cards right here. This is interesting. This is going to tell us right here what they
well,
had it at.
well, I thought earlier, the judge on the far right, he had
Yeah.
a 2-2. I didn't. I thought it was
Hold on.
3-1.
How do you know his political affiliation?
Who?
How do you know his political affiliation of the judge?
No, the Japanese guy, the judge on the right,
Yeah,
on the
I'm
far
just
right.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
But
Because you said far right. Get it? Thumbs
yeah,
thumbs
I
up
guess
in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat.
so.
All right. So the guy in the far right, what about him?
Well, he had a 2-2 going into the fifth, which
That's what I said. That's what I said.
I do not agree with that card.
Okay. And then what were the other ones? So it was 3-1.
It was 3-1.
So he would have lost anyways.
Yeah, well, technically, but he would have lost 49-46, 49-46, and then 48-47. I
Yeah.
thought he won 4 or 5 rounds.
Wow.
I can't. I couldn't give two rounds to Gaethje.
Dang, not even fourth. Well, fourth was definitely Gaethje's.
Yes, fourth was Gaethje's. I'd rather give 5 rounds to Max than 2 rounds to Gaethje.
Wow, that's crazy. But okay, and then
that's why I can't give a fight tonight, because I was watching it, and
whoa,
I'm like, he's picking them apart, man.
that's crazy. So you're telling me that you gave some of these fights. So 1 out of 10, what do you give this fight then?
It was an 8.
Oh my gosh. So you haven't given any other fights above an 8. So which fight do you give fight of the night? Because you even according to your own logic, this is fight of the night.
Well, the finish was pretty epic.
Yeah.
But
There's no doubt about it. This was the best fight of the night. I was on my feet. I couldn't sit down. My hands were sweaty. Granted, I had money on it, but I had even forgot about the money. That's how exciting this fight was. And to see Max come up weight and just defy logic once again. I mean, didn't you think he was over last time but right before he fought Kattar? It's like, okay, this is going to be a good fight, but Max is done. And then he defies logic. He comes up, gets the Volkanovski. Volkanovski beats him. And then he comes against Gaethje. You're like, okay, he's going to fight, but he's over. And then he defies gravity. And now he gets to pick his shot. He gets to do whatever he wants. Everybody wants him. He's the new face of MMA. I mean, not the new face, but the face that's going to be present currently. Obviously, Conor's going to take that spot for a little bit, but who's a better fighter? And who's going to stick around longer is probably Max. He's going to fight for maybe 3 belts.
So, well, obviously, I did not think well, first of all, I didn't like the matchup to begin with, because I was like, oh man, I thought Gaethje was going to win. I was like, it doesn't do much for Gaethje. And then, Max, he's going to take a lot of damage. And then I want to see him fight for the belt, especially now that Volk is not the champ.
Yeah.
And
then So where do
And
you think he goes from here, Max? If you had to pick, this is a tough thing to say, but what do you think? What do you think he comes? Well, I mean, what do you think? Who do you think he fights next? Who do you guys think he fights in the chat? Let's go. What
well,
stays at the
I
weight, goes down?
from what it sounded in the press conference and post fight, it
Yeah,
sounds like he wants his 145 belt back.
it sure does, but I don't want to.
You know,
Yeah,
I,
he wants Illytopia, but for him to lose that weight,
yeah,
I'm kind of like, man, maybe not. I don't think
because
that's too
it's like
wise.
you said, it's like you want the 145, you want the 155. He could. Max's next fight is going to be title shot. It should be either at 145, 155. It could be whatever the heck he wants. And then,
Exactly.
I guess he's gonna pick and choose. Maybe if Islam loses and Dustin wins, maybe he
Yeah.
wants that rematch and he fights at 155 to be the Dustin, or maybe he just wants to be the 145 king. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
why he's
Max.
obsessed with 145. Maybe because he lost it. I mean, that has to obviously fit into something, and maybe personally. I mean, because who
Yeah,
wants to cut weight?
yeah, it's like because I know Max. Even like this whole time, he's like, he does not like the weight cut, and the weight cut kind of messes him up. So at
Yeah,
155, it's a lot easier. And then, Max, he's like 31, 32 now, I think.
exactly.
So it's a lot easier on him. But I guess unless he thinks he has unfinished business at 145.
He does definitely have unfinished business, but sometimes that business is not necessary. You could give up. You could get a whole legacy going up at
155.
155. Oh, here we go. The man, the
Yeah,
myth
because
himself. We got
yeah, because
the mouth from the south, the Michoacan mouth. Here we
Your
go. What
mom,
did you think about that fight,
your mom
Joe
from the,
Mama?
your mom from the south.
All
My south.
right, here he is. So what's your take on this fight? Did you?
Which
I
fight?
don't know if you heard
I
what
don't,
we
I
were
don't know
talking
where you
about.
guys are at.
can you put down the AJ Fam Kayla's 37 years old thing?
What?
Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah, that's
How old is
true.
she?
How old is she? Yeah, how old is she?
I think she's like 32, 33.
Oh, I know she's upper 30s. She's because Holly's like 42, so she's like 5 years younger than Holly. But
Yeah,
I think she's way, way younger, man.
nah, she's
yeah.
30. She's mid 30s, maybe 32 at the lowest, maybe 34. But
You know
anyways,
what the
doesn't
freak?
matter. It doesn't matter.
A
She's gonna be
freaking
champ.
professor. You've been watching that on the screen for how long? I'm doing 30 different things. All you got to do is look at the screen and give me your take. You can't tell me to take that comment off. I mean, help me out, brother.
Well, it wasn't affecting me until you said we got something going on. And I'm like, who's coming on? I have no idea.
Well, it's affecting the
Real
show,
quick.
and they think I'm an idiot. You know what I mean?
Well, you
But
are an
let me
idiot.
make me look like an
Nah,
idiot. Okay,
that
go
comment-
ahead.
That comment doesn't make you an idiot. You make you an idiot. But you guys are
So, what do
talking
you think about the
different-
Max Holloway fight?
hold
What's
on,
your take on it?
Before the legend of Max grows,
Oh,
we were talking about what happens if Connor wins. If Connor wins,
that's a good
I
question.
think,
Yeah.
I think he calls out Max for BMF because he don't want a real fight. Right?
Ooh, bro, that's $100 million fight right there. That's a
Yeah,
Mayweather fight. Now that Max,
That
I was
fight,
not thinking about that.
That fight,
Yes.
that's like blows the fucking
gosh.
universe out the water.
oh my
Breaks
god,
every pay-per-view record. You do that one in a fucking football stadium. Not only that,
bro,
It's a
Allegiant
rematch, too.
Stadium,
And
Allegiant,
it's a
Allegiant.
rematch.
they fought before.
Holy,
It's a rematch. It's redemption for Max. It's two of the most popular stars. And not only that, Max is not going to take Connor down to the ground. Even if he wants to, he's going to keep it standing. And
Yeah.
then you're going to get the best of both worlds. And Max probably wins, right? And gets bigger, right? For sure.
holy smokes! I don't know if Max wins that fight, but
Not only that,
probably.
Are you Max more than just
Probably.
cardio, bro?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Max
But who do you think hits
Connor
harder?
has-
Obviously, Connor hits harder than Gaethje.
Well, Connor has
Connor
has
doesn't hit
one
harder
and a
than
half
Gaethje.
rounds to beat him.
Connor hits harder at
Yeah.
Gaethje at 145, not at 155. Connor's
Yeah,
power
you're not gonna
didn't
get-
travel.
honestly, yeah, Professor brings up a good point. You're not going to get Connor for 5 rounds, so
He'll sign a fight
yeah.
for 5 rounds to be the
He'll
main
sign
event.
the fight.
It ain't
but
gonna
that
go
ain't
5
happening.
rounds, but yeah,
It'll go 5 rounds.
for that much money. I don't know, but no. But to answer your question, Connor's like when some people move up, Connor's power did not go up, right? He doesn't have that
Yeah.
power he did
Yeah.
at 145. So Dustin probably has more power, consistent power at 155, and Gaethje. So I'm not worried.
Absolutely.
And then like Professor said, everyone knows you with Connor, you got 1 round to worry about. You survive that, and Connor and Max's cardio gets better and better as the fight goes and his pace goes up. He'll drown Connor by the round 3. So, and then Max would be talking shit. I mean, it'd be a great fight. It'd break all the fucking records. And it's a weight that Connor could fight, 155, right? Max would even do that at 170. That's his walking weight. So Max would love to fight at 170. Connor, the bigger he gets, the slower and the worse his cardio is. But yeah,
gosh, look how skinny Max looks in this.
But that's
holy
the fight to
smokes.
Make. And not only that, it's not going to hold with the divisions like if you do other divisions and shit. Because Connor doesn't deserve a division champ, right? He doesn't. He can't.
No, no one wants to see him fight Islam.
No one wants to see him fight for 170, 155 belt, 145 belt. But if you put him for a BMF belt, who gives a shit, right? It's not a real fucking weight class.
I would like him to fight for a belt if he's like all in.
Look at this. And look at this.
Lay off the steroids.
If Max wins, Max is already a stratospheric fucking superstar. If Connor wins, man,
he's 32.
If Connor wins, man, Connor sleeps fucking Max. I mean, Connor could fight anyone for the BMF, even people at 170 that couldn't fight for 155.
I think you run into a problem because Max is obsessed with beating Volkanovski. So I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he just wants that belt back to 145 belt, which I think that's the best way for him.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he thinks I could beat Ilatopia and then go over to the bigger weight after that. So I think he sees him and he thinks
he already beat Topuria.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I was just going to play that. That's funny. I had that all queued up. Let's see the call out right here.
With Topuria, he looks scared, bro.
Well, let's see.
He looked like he took 2 Benadryls and he was asleep or something.
I don't think he looks scared. Yeah, I love the Benadryl, but
he doesn't want none of that Max.
No.
What the fuck?
Because once he got the knockout they showed him, he was like, oh, what the freak? Because he's having fun. He's a fan. He's reacting. And then he just the camera panned to him when he said that. He didn't expect the call out and everything. He wasn't going to be all pissed. He never expected the call out. He didn't know what to expect. He was caught off guard by the whole fight.
Max is the greatest 145er to ever fight. So why would he not expect that? And Max is not young. Max isn't old. He's still young.
You don't think it's Conor McGregor?
Not even close.
No.
Conor didn't even defend 145, dude. What are you talking about?
It's either Conor or Max.
You don't know. You don't know.
Aldo.
It's Jose,
Aldo or Max.
and then Max. Max defended.
Aldo got knocked out by Conor. Come on.
Yeah, but
so what?
Conor never defended the belt.
And how many times did he defend? You can't be the best champion. You never defended it, the fucking weight class. Let alone even if you defended it once or twice. Conor cleaned up the division. I mean, Max cleaned up the division. Jose was undefeated for 10 years in the division.
Yeah. By the way, Jose is fighting in the next UFC. So you can find your GOAT.
He's the co-main event. Garbage
Are you excited to see that?
Only because it's in Brazil.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, first things first, give it up to Gaethje, a real BMX. He had so much to lose and nothing to gain from this fight.
That's true. No, he lost a lot.
Yo,
Legacy.
Come on, louder. Let's get it.
Yeah, get it a little bit louder.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever fight in this sport.
Ooh.
The fact that you have won the BMF title is so appropriate. The fact that you stood there with 10 seconds to go and pointed at the center of the octagon. And against your way. It's one of the most special performances I've ever seen in my life. All I gotta say, I'm him. Guys. There's an El Matador. He is running away from a move at 145. Tell him sign the gun contract. Spain, Hawaii, wherever. Or even Islam. Islam is famous for defending against 45ers, right? I'm here. I'm right here.
What the freak, little kid?
It was one of the most special performances I've ever seen. A lot of people thought you were outgunned in this fight, but
Great.
you used.
Look
Did he
scared.
even understand? Did he even understand English at that point? I mean,
Oh, he
God.
knows English. He's trying to play like he's trying
He
to
looked
play
like
dumb,
he-
dude.
He looked like he saw
Yeah.
a T-Rex and he didn't know what to do.
He's like,
Holy
I don't
smokes.
speak English.
Hey, me no know how to fight no more.
He said, "We got the
Yeah.
Matador right here, dude." He
He said-
came
He
prepared.
said, "I'm the bull. You're the matador dodging me."
Great.
You know,
and
I
then
you know, he could have been like, bring it on, bitch. Let's go.
that's true.
But
That's
no.
true.
He was just like,
He's like
¿qué?
he's like a deer in headlights.
I not speaking the English.
Hey, but he was all crazy with old man Volkanovski. Why ain't he going all crazy with old man freaking Max Holloway? Yeah.
Scared. He's scared, dude.
Interesting. Yeah. So what do you think happens? What's your play? What is going to happen, Ace, with Max, and what's going to happen with Gaethje? What's their path?
Well, I think it's
Next
dumb
fight.
How you say Gaethje legacy? He's like a stupid ESPN guy when you saying shit like
That's
that.
just my opinion. It's
Okay,
going
I'm
to
telling
get.
you.
Wait, hold on,
I'm
hold
telling
on.
you,
You brought it
stupid.
up. Now let me
No.
defend myself.
No,
Let me
no,
defend
and
myself.
It's a statement. It's
No,
not a
hold on.
question.
Because
You're giving me-
Gaethje, look,
no,
it's
that's what
like
makes people. That's
Charles
what makes
Barkley.
The UFC good. That's what makes the UFC good.
It is what makes the
fight
UFC
fights,
good.
you
You
fight
put that
things,
on the
the record doesn't
line,
matter.
and if you lose
Max-
it, you're going to be
Lose what?
less.
No.
If you
But
lose the fight when you go to be great, you're going to be less. Connor was less because he lost to Khabib, not because he fought Khabib. You know,
Connor
he
was
doesn't
less
become
because he's been
more.
shit the last 8 years. That's why, not because he lost to Khabib.
I'm just telling you that Jim Elway. I mean, Jim.
Okay, there you go.
Jim
Keep
Kelly. Jim
Yeah.
Kelly is not the
Football
greatest
is
quarterback
not,
of all
football is
time.
not MMA. Football's not MMA.
It's the same concept when you think about legacy in mind. When you think of Michael
No,
Jordan and he's
when you think of
undefeated
UFC, when you
in
think of UFC greats,
championships.
when you think of UFC greats, you don't think of anyone that has an undefeated bloated record that didn't fight nobody. You think of guys
Yes.
that had wars like Anderson Silva, like Dan Henderson.
So who's the
Cain
GOAT of
Velasquez.
UFC? Who's the GOAT of UFC?
John
You'll
Jones.
prove my point right now.
John
You'll
Jones.
prove my point right now. Go ahead.
Anderson
Jones.
Silva.
John
Anderson
Jones.
Silva.
There's no question. It's John
Not even
Jones.
close. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask anyone. Fight fans. Ask Dana White.
That's fine.
Oh.
Different era. You give a shit.
What's that? So
What's
it's
what?
like, no, I mean, I just heard crickets. So ask Dana White, the owner of the UFC. He'll tell you that because John Jones he's been in wars, 18 title defenses or 16 or something like that. But Anderson Silva ruined his career when he lost. And not ruined
he
it.
lost
You know
what?
what I'm saying?
When he
He's
lost
still
what? He
a
lost
great.
multiple fights.
But when you're talking about the top 10, it gets so picky. It gets so picky that you're going to have to do these things like Gaethje, and you're going to have to say, well, he did lose that BMF fight against Max Holloway, and you're always going to
Who's
say,
the GOAT?
well, this. I'm not saying that he's not a great. All right, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You understand what I'm saying,
No,
right?
No, I don't. Especially the way Max fights. That's why people like him, because he goes for broke. Because he had that war with Chandler. He had that war with Poirier. He had the war with fucking before he came here in PFL when he with Eddie Alvarez in those fights. I mean,
Well, Max, honestly, he should be like up there in the question of the GOATs, but
why?
because he
Not to
lost
you. According
fights,
to you, he has lost. He lost to.
and that is
Poirier
according to me.
twice.
He won't be. He will never be in that conversation, right? I mean, he will never get that.
You'd be a great boxing analyst if you love blood.
I'm just saying that's the way it is, and it's that's the way it is, and it's never going to change in people's minds. You know, he'll never get that. He'll never be in that GOAT conversation.
He already
That's-
is. That's his weight
unfortunately.
classes. He's the GOAT at his weight class. What do you mean?
Okay,
one
but the
better
GOAT
than him
of-
at his weight class.
Okay, what do you think? You be the tiebreaker, Mr. Professor, because I'm tired of
What you're
schooling
saying,
this kid.
How can you say you're the GOAT, compare a 145er to a heavyweight? There you go. By your own definition, it's not even the same category.
No,
So,
because we
John
say
Jones-
go to basketball and they could tell a center and a guard, and we're going to say who's the greatest of all time. We're going to say Michael Jordan.
Not even
Never
close.
lost the championship, but they're totally different positions. Obviously,
a-
he's not the greatest center.
He has a lot of losses in his career, doesn't he?
Yeah, but the thing that's on people's minds is he never lost a championship. What don't you understand? My gosh, this is
You sound
what
like
it
you're
is.
trying to be Skip Bayless and just trying to get your
No, this is the truth.
emotional outcome up because you're in your period.
Okay, but this is the truth. I look at any GOAT of any sport, and this is the person that lost the
And those
least.
are all sports. This is a combat fight where they're trying to kill each other. It's not a sport. It is a sport, but
No.
it's a combat sport where they're fighting.
No.
It's not.
Which is
they're playing cupcakes and
interesting.
they're gonna.
The only GOAT that would kind of defy that would be Muhammad Ali, because he did lose a bunch of fights. Nobody remembers those fights, but I guess you could say Mike Tyson might be a GOAT. But who's the GOAT of boxing? It's probably Muhammad Ali, right?
I don't know.
What do you think, Professor? You breathe a tiebreaker and tell him the truth. Unfortunately,
In boxing, I guess it's
No.
Lee or like Floyd. I don't know. I don't really watch boxing that much.
Yeah,
I know,
according
but-
to you, it's Floyd. According to your logic, it's Floyd Mayweather.
It could be. He's in that GOAT conversation because
It
because he's
shouldn't-
40 and 0.
It shouldn't be a conversation. It should be unanimous.
But
He's 50 and 0.
MMA wise, it's
It's John Jones,
well, I think John's number one. Yes, Max is
and that
he's top 10.
yeah, he could be top 10. That's fine, but that don't mean anything because everybody talks about the GOAT conversation, the greatest of all time. So that number one spot, and if you're in the conversation, that's what it is. Now, let's say he gets 3 belts or does something that no one else has ever done. He'll be in that GOAT conversation. He's not going to be in that GOAT conversation right now. So, I mean, Anderson Silva kind of took himself out of the GOAT conversation. He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT. Anderson Silva was the GOAT. And then with those,
Anderson Silva's still top 3, even
not
with
even
his
close.
past. Even what he did with his garbage at the end of his career, he's still top
it's
3.
so many bad fights. So many bad fights.
Yeah, but that's the end of his career. That's when he's like done.
Like right now, nothing Jose does in the last 5 fights. Is it affecting his prime what he did on his run? To me,
Wow,
it's
that's
the end.
interesting. So you don't take their
It's like-
whole career into question? That's just weird.
Well, they
No.
fought because they needed money, like BJ Penn. BJ Penn was great, but he took a bunch of fights. He got knocked out. He wanted to make some, like Chuck. Chuck was awesome, but Chuck's chin
Fine.
went out, and he wanted to make some money and kept on fighting. And I guess it messed up his legacy, but it wasn't, because he sucked. It was just he wanted to make some money.
Do you put Demetrius Johnson in the GOAT conversation?
He's really good. He should be, but he probably won't be.
And it's not his fault that the fighters weren't there. In fact, Anderson Silva really, who did he fight?
He beat Chael twice. He beat
He beat Chael
He beat-
Sonnen twice, who never held a championship. Okay, who else did he fight? He fought a school teacher. He fought a school teacher. He
Rich
fought,
Franklin.
But
yeah.
you're saying a school teacher. Rich Franklin cleaned out the division before Anderson Silva came here. He beat everybody multiple times.
I think
And then
I
he
think the
destroyed-
division was a
destroyed
little
Anderson
bit
Silva
weak.
twice. He
I think the
cleaned it out,
division-
and then he
No,
dominated that division, and he was a part.
Finding Demetrius Johnson is the GOAT.
Why are you yelling? Who's talking about Demetrius? We're talking
I'm
about.
not yelling. I'm
Different
saying
weight class.
Demetrius Johnson because his class was so weak. That's why he's not in the GOAT conversation. Don't you guys factor that in? And the way I'm thinking about it too is Michael Jordan. They said, "Stay away, stop it, stop playing, retire because you're the GOAT. Yeah, we don't want to see you in a Washington Wizards. That's not the last thought we want to have of you." And when you have the last thought of Anderson Silva, I have him fighting Adesanya or something, right? What do you think? Hello? We lost the professor.
I don't know what you're
Oh.
talking about.
I'm talking about the GOAT conversation. I'm talking about Anderson Silva fighting all those garbage fights. Isn't that the last thought you have of him?
Well, he was even when he got to the UFC, he was like in his mid-30s.
Yeah, he was in his mid-30s, so that kind of hurts him. So you got to take what it is before, right?
Well, he held the belt for like it was like freaking like 7, 8 years. He was the champion.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he was not only was he beating people, he was freaking destroying dudes.
I think in the new era, you kind of look at how many super fights they have, how many things they've done that have never been done before. Isn't that kind of, don't they add on all these extras now just because it's so hard? And would Royce Gracie be in your GOAT conversation?
Well, who's Silva gonna fight? Like, let's say he does a
He
super
could have
fight.
gone up a division. That's what they do now to distance
Well,
themselves from other people.
Well, he's gonna fight John. He's not gonna want to fight John.
But if you want to be great, let's see that this is kind of the thing that I love about Adesanya. He went up and fought Jan.
Well,
He went up and he said, "I want to be the greatest ever."
Well, look at GSP. GSP could have fought Silva. He's like, no, I'm not gonna fight Silva.
Yeah. And you know what? If Adesanya doesn't go up and fight Jan, he could probably still have that record where it just says, wow, he's still the champion. He's still the champion. And he defended it so long and he just stayed in his division and cleaned it out over and over again. But he went out and found challenges.
Well, when he fought Jan, he didn't lose his belt. He still lost it to freaking Alex. And then he lost it again against Strickland.
So, I mean, do you ever, when you risk it on something like Jan, doesn't that work against him? It's like a mark. Okay, this is something that people can point at that says, okay, he kind of came up short here. And when they're looking at the GOAT conversation, they're looking for all the shortcomings, right? Isn't there? Do you say fighting Jan was a shortcoming?
No, because when he fought Jan, I had a 2-2 going to the 5th round, and he lost it. But then he fought Alex at 185, got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then he avenged his loss, and then he fought Strickland, and then he got dominated. What did freaking Anderson Silva do? He defended the belt, dominated.
Yeah.
The first fight against Weidman, he got cocky. He lost it.
Yeah.
And the second fight, he broke his leg in the first round. Do
you think?
Are you gonna say?
Yeah. I am gonna use that against him. I mean, he could never beat Weidman. I mean, because you understand what I'm talking about, where you got to be nitpicky, right?
Yeah, you got to be nitpicky.
Yeah.
Do I think Silva's number one? No, Silva. I think it's Jan, GSP, Silva, and then Mighty Mouse. I don't think Silva's number 1 or 2.
But look at GSP. Everybody knows he's like a little punk and he stayed away for so long. But when you look at his record, nobody can say anything because he was smart. He picked his battles and he stayed away. While just like Floyd, everyone finds it to be stupid, but he knew that it would work against him if he picked the wrong battle. That's what I think, in my opinion, him being so nitpicky. Everybody knows he was nitpicky and he was dodging people. Don't you think?
Who, Mayweather? Yes.
No, George St. Pierre.
I think after he lost to Sarah, he got kind of like, you know what, I can't lose. Well, even John, John, when he used to fight in his early career, he used to be crazy. He used to come out, go
rolling.
He used to do some crazy stuff. And then after a while, he's like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna wait it out, and I'm gonna. If I win a decision, I win a decision because
exactly.
When he fights Shogun, he's coming out flying knees, doing all this stuff, and after that, he's like, "Nah, that's not our game plan."
Yeah, I mean, we worked through this. So speaking of the next fight, Pereira, I think that he had a chance. Man, I really wish he didn't get knocked out by Adesanya because my gosh, he had a chance to go for that GOAT, and I mean, you got to build up some kind of legend to get that GOAT, to work in for that GOAT. And this works good for Max, obviously, this fight right here. And I think Pereira, he really had that chance if he beat the Stylebender, who is in the discussion for GOAT already, like 3-4 times. It's kind of like, wow. I don't think I was really excited for that. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second. All right, let's what do you think? You think Pereira was in the GOAT conversation, or he was leading up to the legend?
No, not even close.
Really?
He does have a very good resume, though.
Well, let me ask you, do you think Adesanya was leading up to the GOAT conversation?
Adesanya, yes.
Yeah, and he beat him. He came on the scene as the scary boogeyman and beat the guy who's in the GOAT conversation. That's scary. Honestly, I didn't think Adesanya was ever going to lose at one point. He just looks so good. And now he's, I don't know, but I'm excited.
Adesanya beat him back.
I know.
Technically in MMA, they're 1-1.
Technically, I don't think he beat him because he had to drop the weight. So I don't think that counts. I'd like to see Adesanya go up to the weight and then fight him again. But I think he'll take the win and go somewhere else. But right? Didn't Pereira drop weight for that fight?
Well, he's a 185er, but he's a big 185er. So 205 is like that's his division,
Yeah, so he dropped some weight, and he was, that's a tough thing to do for him. Because I bet he's a heavyweight. He walks around at heavyweight easily. So,
well, I think after I saw when they rehydrated, freaking Pereira, he's like, yeah, I'm at like 230 pounds.
Gosh,
after the weight cut, which is like freak.
That's insane.
He used to fight at 185. That's like a freaking, almost like a 50-pound difference. That's why I was kind of afraid of this fight, because I thought Jamal Hill has more power than freaking Adesanya, and Adesanya knocked him out. So it's like, freak. If he gets one of those overhand haymakers. But let's talk about this fight really quick. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. Your initial thoughts on this fight? I was really bored with this fight after being so excited with Max Holloway. All the air oxygen was taken out of the arena, but it lived up. It actually exceeded expectations, because Weili came in and she was acting like she was going to ragdoll her, but then Yan got choked out and came back and got some big punches on Zhang Weili. So what was your take on this fight? Were you pumped for it? Look at the strikes. Holy smoke. So going into the fight, I was not pumped for it because I thought Weili, I think she's a really good fighter. I had her winning this fight.
Yeah.
And she came in and she did what she did, but her opponent, man, she felt like a dog.
Yeah.
Some points that you're like, oh, she's done, and she came coming back. I think it was I think I had 4-1 for Weili, but yeah,
she possibly could have won 2 rounds. She had I think it was the third or the fourth. She had it, and then Weili took her down and kind of did her thing. But it looked like, and Ace was saying this, but what's her name? Yan is out of Team Alpha Male, where they definitely know how to wrestle, and it looked like she did not know how to wrestle. It was very disappointing, because you would think she'd be able to get out of there. It looked like she was just flailing for her life. Granted, Weili is strong, but have some technique.
Yeah, I believe she's been training with Uriah Scam for the last couple of years. But yeah,
She's been wrestling.
yeah, especially all those that camp. They got a bunch of little fighters, so she
Exactly.
definitely has people to fight at her size.
Yeah. So you got 256 strikes from Wei Li and 73 from Yan. Holy smokes. But her face didn't look too bad. Neither of them looked like they were messed up too bad. I guess, but more power punches it looked like came from Yan. She knocked her down like twice and literally she like flew back when she punched her. It was like, what the freak? I couldn't believe it. That got me a
Yeah,
little pumped.
yeah, she did a lot better than what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh
I thought
yeah.
it was gonna be Whaley domination. I was kind of
Yeah.
shocked that this fight was even in Vegas. I thought this card would be like a main event fight night in
That's true.
China.
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
you got two Chinese fighters. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
who wins. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
Chinese champion.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine the gate on that one? You'd have to get like this super place because you don't have any Chinese men. So I mean, this is going to be that fight for a long time. So
You put that in China. I would assume it sells out.
but so interesting because I guess maybe this might be the thinking. If you put that fight in China, is anyone else watching? But if you put that in Vegas, everyone from China is watching and everyone in the world is watching. But if you put this fight in China, I'm not watching. I don't think anybody else is watching around the world, you know? So maybe that's the thinking.
Well, either you put it on China or you put it on like International Fight Week, where it's like, oh, we have a whole bunch of
That's
different,
smart.
because like International Fight Week is like the UFC's like Super Bowl.
Because I don't think this fight would ever carry the UFC, maybe on one of the smaller ones, but
No, this fight can't be a main event. But if
yeah,
it's in China, that's for sure a main event. But if
that's a
it's
main
like,
event
oh,
for them. Yeah.
yeah, like you can't have that in the main event. It's like, oh, we're going to some random city pay per
Yeah.
view. No,
Yeah.
that cannot be a main event. It's a co.
Exactly.
But in China, that is 100% a main event.
Yeah. Let me ask you about this. So let's go to the main event. Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Why did they call him Pajeda? I don't understand that. Is that just the way you say it in Portuguese, maybe? I don't know if you know.
Well, Poetan?
Politan? What do you mean?
Well, that's his nickname, Poetan.
Oh, yeah. It's like Patodi or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Poetan?
Yeah, it must mean something in Portuguese. I don't know what it is, but what did you think about this fight? What did you think was going to happen? Did it turn out exactly? I mean, it wasn't much of a fight, but it happened.
So going into the fight, because I know Alex, he is a very good striker. And then from all the fights I've seen with Jamal, he likes to bang. And from what I've heard from all the talk, he was like, yeah, I'm going to strike with Alex. So
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be a finish.
Okay.
I did not know who was going to finish who. I thought Alex, if I had to pick, I'd pick Alex to finish him.
Yeah.
But when it comes to these big boy divisions, the power is like I wouldn't bet on these fights.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of like I thought that Pajeda was going to like keep his distance and then like lots of leg kicks. He's got the new ACL or MCL, whatever. It was his ankle that was injured. Apparently, Alex had a broken toe for the last 2 months. And, that was so I thought he was going to keep his distance and for a bunch of rounds. But like you said, he had a different honestly, it looked like Pereira this whole time. I was trying to figure out. It was very personal for him. And I know Glover Teixeira is his boy, his coach, and Jamal Hill just beat him. But that was a very respectful fight. I didn't see it like, oh yeah, I beat you and you suck. I saw it as respectful, and he fought his butt off and he won that fight. And then I saw the press conference and he was talking some trash, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to eat your kids or something like that. So I don't understand why, but the Machine, he looked like he wanted to kill him. Like he said something personal, and that knockout looked personal. Everything looked personal. And I don't think Jamal Hill was even, doing anything personal, but he was just defending himself.
So what I did see, like, so I saw like during like the walkouts, right?
Yeah.
So because Jamal Hill came out first, right?
Okay.
And then they had like so when Alex was coming out, he had this like walkout, right?
Yeah.
I saw a picture. I saw like a video because Alex likes to do like that bow thing.
Okay.
The bow and
Yeah.
arrow
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So Jamal Hill was doing like a little thing when he was coming out, where he was like breaking a bow and arrow.
Oh,
like
I
neat.
see.
He was like snapping it.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
And then I guess he was talking a little smack throughout the week, which
Of
I
course.
wasn't paying too much attention,
Yeah. I was paying attention to it, and I heard the smack talk and it was pretty average, you know what I mean? Obviously, he was saying how he's going to win and this and that and bring it, but he was selling the fight. I mean, but it didn't look like
that's what I thought, But I guess Alex takes that very personal.
At no time did I think it was like, oh, okay, he's not trying to sell the fight. Like some of the things Connor said about Khabib, I was like, he ain't trying to. He's not.
I do not.
That's a little personal, man. You better relax, dog. It was like crazy stuff. So I was kind of like, this is kind of like short. But apparently Pereira did not take it that way. He was not feeling Jamal Hill at all. So let's listen to some of the smack talk.
Well, it's that, and then Jamal Hill beat Glover, and Glover's in his corner.
I
so
know.
He's probably trying to.
He didn't do anything disrespectful when he beat him. He shook his hand. He cried, and if you watch that, he didn't do anything that was like, super disrespectful. I guess beating him is disrespectful, but what do you want him to do? You should respect that he gave it his all. That don't make any sense to me. There must be something, but let's listen to what he says.
Mark my words when I say this.
Yeah.
There will be no, I do not plan on taking him down. I do not plan on wrestling him. I plan on going in there in where y'all think he's just this otherworldly guy. Whenever I do fight him, standing, I will knock him out. And when I do, I'm going to rub it in every single one of y'all face.
Jamal, what's up, man? Hey, dude, everybody.
Man,
nobody gives you enough respect, Jamal.
Let's be clear. Dang. Alex was a 2-division glory champion because I didn't kickbox. Right? That's why.
That's funny.
That's why. You know what I mean? He's a 2-division UFC champion because I got hurt.
Question for Jamal. I see the interesting choice of water bottle right there. Can you speak a little bit more about it?
Let's see.
Just getting acquainted.
So he might be mocking his culture in a little way here.
Yeah.
He's got the tiki Easter Island thing. So maybe that's
everyone. That and like Botan, he's always like they always say he's like a rock statue. So yeah.
He does look like that's not a good thing. That's a scary thing. Great. Yeah. The guy looks like he has no life behind his eyes. I don't think. And he found out why. Gosh dang. So he gets kicked in the balls, tells the ref, get out of here, and then knocks him out right after. So he said in the post press conference that he noticed that he had made the difference. He had he had found his distance. So that's why he got the referee out of there, because he found his distance and he liked where he was at and it didn't hurt. So I don't know if he's got balls of steel or whatever, but okay. Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy knockout.
When I saw that, it's like Herb Dean's like, hey, and let me like, no, you go over there, and he just freaking knocks him out like 10 seconds later. It's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, no,
yeah,
I have to finish business.
you move now. Yeah, that was crazy. But
yeah, it's like, oh geez, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, get him, come, give me my 5 minutes. He's like, no, I kill him now. Aspinall smokes him. I think Aspinall's too big for him.
But I don't think he's gonna smoke him. I mean, come on. It's not like he's way out of his league or something like that. First of all, Aspinall, do you think he's a really good heavyweight? Apparently you do, but I don't think so.
I think he's a solid heavyweight. I think he's just way bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He is pretty big, but I mean, look at some of these people like Cormier who go up and he's a little guy. I mean, heck, Mike Tyson is a little guy and he puts on a lot of weight. How much do you think that Alex Pereira walks around at?
He probably I saw when he rehydrated, I think
you said 230.
230, 232. So he probably walks around at like 235, 240, which is because I know the 185 cut was huge for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so
but he's a big dude. But I think Aspinall's just bigger,
Yeah, yeah. Well, who are some small light heavyweights that have moved up to heavyweight? I mean, hasn't that happened a bunch of times?
Well, it's just DC, like John. John's a big light heavyweight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's like.
Yeah,
I
for
guess
John,
there's like Randy, like there's Randy Couture, but that's
that's true. Yeah, Randy Couture. I mean, I don't know if Frank Mir is that heavy. Isn't he kind of low? Isn't he kind of light on his body? He doesn't cut very much weight.
I don't know if he ever fought at 205 though. I don't think he did though.
Yeah. But when he went up against Brock Lesnar, it was like, what the freak? These are two different bodies right here.
Yeah.
And that was scary. But other than that, so you don't want him to go up. All right, got it. I don't think he should go down. I think if anything, he should go up. He definitely shouldn't go down.
Well, I think he should stay at the division and, fight Fury next.
Yeah, that's boring to me, but he could do that and build off his legacy. But so what do you think about Jamal Hill? What does he do? Is he just a gatekeeper or is he the real deal?
Freaky. I guess he fights.
He's old too.
No, he's pretty young. Well, when you get to the older divisions, yeah, but you got freaking those older divisions. You could be a freaking you could still survive being in your late 30s.
Yeah.
The speed does not matter. It's all about power.
Yeah.
Freaking Stipe's like 42. John's like 36, 37, 38,
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. What do you think about so I guess we also going to have a Sean Strickland fight coming up, but overall 1 to 10, what did you rank this? Was this the best card of the year so far?
Of the year so far, yeah, that's 10 out of 10. That's great card.
That's kind of
lives
easy
up
to
the
say.
hype.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time we watched a whole UFC card from top to bottom and it didn't have some whack names on it? you know?
No.
So by
Yeah.
far,
Well,
easily.
Yeah, because I usually watch all the cards from top to
Yeah.
bottom, and
Yeah.
I'm always like, that fight sucked, that fight sucked, that
Yeah.
fight sucked. Or I'm like, oh man, I just wasted
One more-
3 hours watching those fights.
Exactly.
Yesterday, I'm like, no,
Let's
that,
go. Yeah.
yep, I was hyped.
But I forgot to ask you this question. Let me ask you real quick. 1 to 10, what did you rank this fight right here? That's a tricky one. Jamal Hill Pereira.
Jamal Hill one.
Yeah.
Well, it's a first round finish. 8 out of 10.
Wow. Dang. So yeah, I see your idea of a best fight is kind of like a little different than mine. Mine, it has to go like a couple of rounds. They have to trade blows, and both fighters have to be great on that night. If one fighter's not great, I kind of give it like a minus.
Yeah. Well, I can't give it a 5 or 6. It's like if you get a first round finish, you dominated.
Yeah. Yeah. But like when Mike Tyson used to come out and like finish him in like 15 seconds, I'm not saying, wow. No, because the other guy sucked. He had a sucky performance and he ruined, because where I'm talking about the fight, the fight sucked. I want to see more of a fight. I do want to see someone knocked out, but I want to see great, a great give and take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My personal opinion. That's when I get my money's worth.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way I view it, is my money's worth. But yeah, great performance. And I think, in my opinion, I think Jamal Hill was in the back so long, and this fight was so long. I think it might have got to him, that just sitting in the back and thinking about it and getting cold, getting warmed up, getting cold, getting warmed up. I don't think we saw the best Jamal Hill.
Yeah, I don't know, because Jamal Hill, he's never this is the biggest fight that he's ever fought.
Exactly. Yeah.
That, and he's fought. He fought Glover. Glover's old. He beat Teo Santos. He's beat Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
The problem with 205 is that division is just kind of it's kind of weak.
Yeah. Well, now we know it's definitely weak, and it's taken over by Alex Pereira. So, any last words? I guess we're not getting an NBA.
It's Alex and Jerry's fight, division.
Yeah, hopefully Jury comes through a little bit stronger, but we'll see. Any last words on the UFC 300? We'll do an NBA show a different time.
Well, when do the Warriors play?
They play, I don't know, first game is Wednesday, so we'll see. It should be coming up pretty soon.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, I know the Hawks play the Bulls on Wednesday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Freak, I was thinking about the next time the Warriors play, we do a live streaming.
Okay.
And,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We'll be back in person. Maybe we'll get Chimichanga on the card. Yeah. That would be pretty sweet. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, player. I got to use the restroom. So I'm dying over here. I've been drinking too much water. I'm going to have to sign off, my friend. Till next time. All right.
Homie.
Good looking out. Peace.
We'll watch some playoff games.
Yeet. Let's go.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go.
This is going to be so good.